Butterscotch the Pirate Bunny. Chapter 3. Once upon a time, on a sunny meadow surrounded by green forest, there lived a brave little yellow rabbit named Butterscotch. Butterscotch wasn't your ordinary bunny. He was a bunny with a dream bigger than the burrow he called home. While most bunnies were content nibbling on grass and playing in the fields, Butterscotch dreamt of sailing the vast seas as a fearless pirate, discovering hidden treasures and exploring lands far beyond his little island. Under the moon's glow every night, Butterscotch would gaze out at the sea from the highest hill, imagining himself steering a mighty ship across the waves. He often read tales of legendary pirates who sailed to the ends of the earth, their adventures filled with danger, excitement, and unimaginable riches. These stories filled his little heart with wonder and sparked a flame of adventure within him. He wanted to be like those pirates, to feel the wind in his fur, the salt on his nose, and the thrill of the unknown. On a beautiful morning, the sun radiated warmly, bathing the landscape in a golden glow. Butterscotch decided it was the perfect moment to pursue his dream. With a renewed sense of purpose, he leaped onto the shore, a spark of excitement shining in his eyes. He wore a black eye patch over one eye, not out of necessity, but because it made him feel like a pirate. On his fluffy head, he wore a striped pirate hat he had crafted from an old piece of cloth he found. He looked every bit the part of a young pirate ready for adventure. Butterscotch knew he needed a ship to start his journey, so he began building one. He gathered twigs and leaves from the lush forest and spent hours meticulously constructing his vessel. He even adorned its sail with a vibrant orange carrot to give it a personal touch. After all, he reasoned, a ship ought to reflect a little of its captain's spirit. Once his boat was complete, he stepped back to admire his creation. He named it the Carrot Cutter, a perfect title for a pirate bunny who cherished carrots above all else. With the Carrot Cutter complete, Butterscotch pushed it into the water, watching as it bobbed gently on the waves. He paused momentarily, inhaling deeply as excitement and a hint of nervousness washed over him. He paused for a moment, inhaling deeply as excitement and a hint of nervousness washed over him, but his courage was far greater than his fear. With a resolute jump, he hopped aboard, seized the small wooden wheel with his little paws, and embarked into the vast unknown. The wind filled the sail, and the Carrot Cutter glided effortlessly across the water. The briny sea breeze ruffled Butterscotch's fur, and the seagulls overhead squawked in support. "Ahoy, Captain Butterscotch!" As he ventured farther from the shore, Butterscotch's thrill intensified. The ocean appeared boundless, a massive stretch of blue spanning as far as he could see. He experienced a sense of liberation he had never met before. The waves softly rocked his ship, and he hummed a cheerful tune. His adventure had begun, and turning back was not an option. After many hours of sailing, Butterscotch spotted a pod of dolphins swimming next to the Carrot Cutter. The dolphins were playful and friendly, leaping out of the water and diving back in with graceful arcs. They appeared to be guiding him, swimming closely to his vessel and nudging it along the correct course. "Thank you, lovely dolphins," Butterscotch shouted, feeling a surge of gratitude. He understood that he wasn't alone on this journey. He had companions who supported him. For days, Butterscotch navigated the ocean, steering by the stars at night and the sun during the day. The journey was serene, filled with the melodies of the sea and the chatter of his dolphin companions. However, adventure is never without difficulties, and soon Butterscotch encountered his first challenge as a pirate. One afternoon, dark clouds gathered on the distant horizon as the sun began to dip below the horizon. Butterscotch's fur bristled with unease. He had read about storms at sea in his pirate books, but experiencing one was entirely different. The sky quickly became overcast, and before long the initial raindrops started to descend. The ocean grew turbulent, with the waves rising higher and more threatening as moments passed. Butterscotch gripped the wheel of the Carrot Cutter firmly, his heart racing. The wind screamed around him, and lightning streaked through the sky, casting an unsettling glow on the dark clouds. Thunder boomed, and the rain poured in sheets, soaking his fur. Butterscotch was a brave pirate, and he refused to be scared. "We can conquer any storm, me hearties," he shouted into the wind, his voice filled with determination. The storm raged on, and the sea tossed the carrot cutter about like a toy. Butterscotch gritted his teeth and held on with all his might. He remembered the stories of brave pirates who had survived even greater storms. He knew he had to stay strong. The dolphins swam close to his ship, their sleek bodies cutting through the rough waves, guiding him through the tempest. Butterscotch felt a surge of hope. With his friends by his side, he knew he could make it through anything. Hours passed, and the storm showed no signs of letting up. But Butterscotch was relentless. His little arms ached from holding the wheel, and his eyes stung from the salt and rain. But he did not give up. He kept steering, kept fighting, his spirit unyielding. Finally, just as he felt he could not hold on any longer, the storm began to calm. The rain slowed to a drizzle, the waves lessened, and the wind died down to a gentle breeze. A rainbow appeared in the sky, arching across the horizon in a beautiful display of colors. Exhausted but triumphant, Butterscotch let out a cheer. "We did it!" he exclaimed, his voice hoarse but joyful. The dolphins leaped out of the water in celebration, their happy squeals echoing across the sea. Butterscotch's heart swelled with pride. He had faced the storm and emerged stronger and braver than before. With the storm behind him, Butterscotch continued his journey, the sun shining brightly again. He sailed for several more days, the sea now calm and peaceful. As the sun rose one morning, he spotted an island in the distance. It was a small island covered in palm trees and surrounded by golden sand. Butterscotch felt a thrill of excitement. Could this be the island with the treasure he had been searching for? He steered the carrot cutter toward the island and dropped anchor off the shore. With a sense of adventure bubbling, he hopped onto the sandy beach, his paws sinking into the warm, soft sand. The island was beautiful, with lush greenery, colorful flowers, and the sweet scent of tropical fruits in the air. Butterscotch was here for one reason: to find the hidden treasure. Pulling out the treasure map he had found tucked inside an old pirate book, Butterscotch studied it carefully. The map was old and faded, but he could make out a few landmarks: a crooked palm tree, a large rock shaped like a bunny's ear, and a small waterfall. "X marks the spot," he whispered, his eyes excitedly shining. He set off to explore the island, following the clues on the map. He hopped through the dense jungle, his nose twitching with curiosity. He discovered the twisted palm tree precisely as indicated on the map, followed by the stone that resembled a bunny's ear. He realized he was nearing his destination. At last, he arrived at the small waterfall. The water flowing over the stones was calming, yet Butterscotch's heart was pounding. The treasure was hidden just past the waterfall. With a deep breath, Butterscotch hopped behind the waterfall, feeling the cool mist on his fur. He spotted a small patch of disturbed earth, just big enough for a treasure chest. This must be it, he thought, his paws excitedly trembling. He began to dig, his paws moving quickly through the soft soil. After a few moments of digging, his paws hit something hard: a chest. With a final push, he uncovered a large wooden chest covered in moss and dirt. His heart pounded as he brushed away the dirt and pried it open. He found a dazzling array of sparkling jewels, shimmering gold coins, and precious gems of every color imaginable. His eyes widened in awe. It was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. As Butterscotch gazed at the treasure, a thought struck him. He remembered the stories of pirates who hoarded their riches and lived lonely lives, continually fearing someone would steal their treasure. He realized that he didn't want that for himself. The true treasure, he thought, wasn't in gold or jewels. It was in sharing and making others happy. With a smile, Butterscotch decided to use the treasure to help the animals on the island. He set to work immediately, using gold coins to build a cozy shelter for the sea turtles who often came to the island to lay their eggs. He planted fruit trees for the monkeys, who enthusiastically swung from the branches, chattering joyfully. He even created a colorful playground for the parrots, complete with swings and a slide. The island quickly became a paradise of happiness and laughter. where all the animals could live peacefully and joyfully. The animals of the island were incredibly grateful to Butterscotch. They had never met a pirate like him, one who used his treasure to bring happiness to others. They thanked him with all their hearts, and Butterscotch felt a warm glow of happiness inside. He realized that being a pirate wasn't just about finding treasure, but about using that treasure to improve the world. With his heart full of joy, Butterscotch knew it was time to continue his journey. He bid farewell to the animals, who waved and cheered as he hopped back onto the carrot cutter. As he set sail, the dolphins joined him, swimming alongside his ship, and the seagulls flew above, calling out their goodbyes. Butterscotch smiled, his heart full of gratitude and happiness. As he sailed back toward his home island, Butterscotch reflected on his adventure. He had faced storms, discovered treasures, and made new friends. But more than that, he had learned valuable lessons about bravery, kindness, and the true meaning of treasure. It wasn't about gold or jewels, but the joy of giving, the courage to follow one's dreams, and the happiness of helping others. And so, Butterscotch the pirate bunny continued his journeys across the seas, spreading joy and kindness wherever he went. His story spread far and wide, echoing through the waves and inspiring other little adventurers to follow their dreams and discover their treasures. Whether sailing the open seas, helping those in need, or simply sharing a smile, Butterscotch knew that the greatest treasure was the joy of giving and the adventure of living a life of love and kindness. From that day forward, Butterscotch's adventures became the stuff of legend. The little yellow rabbit with a big heart and an even bigger dream continued to sail the seas, always searching for new adventures and ways to spread happiness to every corner of the world. And so, his story continues, inspiring generations to come with the simple truth that anyone, no matter how small, can be a hero, a pirate, and a friend to all. And as long as there were seas to sail and treasures to discover, Butterscotch the pirate bunny knew that his most remarkable adventure was yet to come. The end.